Each one of you is looking at me in a different angle. In fact, that angle is enough to generate an idea that will decide the way you will feel and react in the next 11 minutes. From the position you're sitting today, each one of you will analyze the visual environment in a different way, according to a set of memories, standards, anything you developed in the past for a similar scene. So your brain will automatically understand the stage design and the spacing between. All of these lights and illuminance we have in the room with the adjusted room temperature, and even my dress code for today. All of these are enough to create the key to a designed environment that your brain understands and follow to be directed at that angle you are looking at right now. My name is Anas Kifah, and I will take you on a deep dive into the power of perspective. So, it's a formula of characteristics designed specially to attract you or to direct you in a certain path of thinking. That sounded hard? Well, it should be, because here your brain is trying to understand the way you identify environments, objects for the first time, or maybe overwriting on an old impression. But how really our brains do that? It's just by connecting some points, or you just create it from the first thing? Take a look at me at this picture on the screen, and what can you see in this picture? Aerobatic show? Maybe an episode from Rick and Morty? I don't think so, because this picture doesn't hold any complete object. Nothing to be confirmed. And I would like you to do the best to name one thing in this picture. So we understand now, by only a pattern of colors, our brains will direct us to a certain ideas. For example, in many points, each one of us saw a color festival, aerobatic show, audience, thrill, see, but you can't really confirm anything here, only ideas without the source. So we can understand the mechanism that our brain works by just only connecting points, because simply, your brain will not consume that much energy to create something new or overlapping on something you already know. Because that's expensive. Because you have a lot of more important stuff to do, like listen to me today. That's one of them. So, as we can see, this picture is auto-generated by an AI system, AI bot, called Midjourney, only to make you feel the environment, but, like I mentioned, without any source. So, is it always about instant feelings, instant ideas, instant directions? Sometimes these keys on these factors we mentioned will take maybe decades, years, or an entire lifetime. Imagine with me, you born in a place like this. You and your identical twin, for some reason, some circumstances, you were separated from young age, and he were living in a place like this. Throughout the years, you both decided to become an artist, especially in sculpturing school of art. You see, there's a huge difference in the details between the symmetry and the beauty and the visual pollution in general. So you know that, logically, you will never develop the same taste in art, at least. Because each time you leave your house to go to your school, to do an activity, you will see such details. And each time your brother do anything in the streets, he will see details like this. So we understand your brother simply has enough or saw enough symmetry and beauty to generate something like this. But you had enough visual pollution to end up creating something like this. So as we can see, each time we see such structure in our cities, and we take the opportunity to ask the artist behind these structures, he will or she will explain it as it's the Pieta by Michelangelo, because he sees nothing wrong with it, really, because it fits this polluted environment already, because all the things he saw and trained to see throughout his life are these details, really. But it's not always about beauty and symmetry, because sometimes it's about sending a message, it's about telling a story, it's about showing your political view. But how really that work? How can you deliver an entire timeline or a powerful message through just designing or circulating some streets, modeling some buildings, shaping some greenery? I think the answer to this question will go to DC. Washington, DC. Map, as we can see here, the whole city is circulated around or centered around one building, the Capitol building, or the Hill, like they name it. So if we take the opportunity and go from the right to the left, as we read English, we will find the person who created the system, Jefferson Memorial. From Jefferson, again, right to the left, you will find the person who saved the system, Lincoln from the Civil War. Again, right to left, you will find the person who is leading the system nowadays in the White House. Ending up in the Congress again, the place that everyone follow as Americans, the place for creating the law that you can never go above in height. And let's not forget the big white structure that made of white stone that will never go gray throughout the years, surrounded by 50 flags representing the 50 states. Washington, one of the founding fathers of the idea of the system. So, as we can see here, by just placing these buildings, you as a tourist or foreigner, you can see the whole story by just walking in this golden angle. But, in contrary, not far from DC, there is a place that vibing a different idea. An idea of I'm the place of strangers and welcoming you by a big structure that will basically make you free and civilized and tell you, give me your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. I'm talking about New York City, Manhattan specifically, and the Statue of Liberty. So it's all about not getting lost again in this city. Well, literally, because even the streets in the city are just designed in grid system. X and Y's, two numbers are enough to locate any location in this city. As you can see here, for any stranger, any foreigner who will visit the city, it will be so easy and familiar to just feel home. So as we can see the difference between presenting the identity and also presenting the idea of this is the land and this is the opportunity to make your dream become true. I think today is the right time that we think about the way we present ourselves and take the sample, Kurdistan as a sample. So, when was the last time you asked your foreigner friend, where do you want to go for your next vacation? And he mentioned Kurdistan. I think that's a little bit difficult because each time Iraq, Middle East, Kurdistan come to any foreigner mind, he will or she will directly think it's connected to conflict or war, because this is basically the stereotype. I'm not here today to tell you, yeah, I will break the stereotype and this is blah, blah, blah. No. I'm actually trying to take the first step by these keys, by these tools, only to rebrand what we have. All the values, all the welcoming culture, all the dense history that we have. But let's not forget the most greatest and viral ideas throughout the history were the simplest.